All right, series and cylinder bodybuilding. On today's Muscle Talk, we get to Liver King going batshit crazy. Nathan Deasha thinks he should have won the Dubai Pro. Fouad is in the hospital and doing better. And we got to judge a fan's physique. And if we have time, we're going to get to the Italy Pro right after this. John Olivier here, your host for Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding and Serious and Silliness Outcast. Great news. We have a brand new sponsor, Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. This place is a one-stop shop for weight loss, rejuvenation, energy, and anti-aging. This is a brand new startup company located at 160 Lanza Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey. Their number is 732-436-1924. You could also email them ideal@idealweightandaesthetics.com. This is basically what they do. They have a clinician look over all your blood work, and they recommend what you should and should not do. They do weight loss, semaglutide and tirzepatide. They offer the NAD injections or drip, which is a brand new technology that everybody is jumping on. IV infusion, testosterone replacement therapy, and peptides, microneedling, and skin therapy. You guys know that I love to support small business. So really, give them a call, reach out. You'll feel better. It'll make you look better, and you'll be twice the person. You won't be disappointed. Take my word for it. Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. All right, now we can do it. Now we can talk. What's up,
You're so
fellas?
professional.
Yeah, I figured they would get a little bit more views if they didn't could if they can't just fast forward it from the beginning.
Yeah.
How you guys doing, man? Luke, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right.
The training looks like you're coming because I saw you deadlifting in the
Yeah,
shirt.
it was only 4 or 5.
Yeah, I know. You fucking animal. Jesus Christ.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
I know.
too
Is that
big.
all?
That's
Yeah,
Diamond Jim. That's just Diamond Jim.
yeah, yeah,
Is that all, Luke?
yeah.
My sweat, my sweat is still on those fucking floors, dude. You better
That's what pushing. That's what pushing
start
us in
pulling
there.
some more shit than that.
That's what's pushing us in there. The sweat. You guys in sweat because we don't know what it is there that's driving us to do what we do.
Yeah.
Or they might want to do like a mold or fungus count or spore count.
Mike, Luke is the type of guy that trains like a psycho in the gym, and then he's like, that really wasn't anything. He's one
Like
of
that.
those guys.
Humble.
No,
Yeah.
that's from, man. I'm gonna tell y'all. I used to watch Lee Priest in the magazines. I'm short in school. I was always the shortest person, so that's why I loved Lee Priest when I was younger. Because like, man, he's short and look at him. He's big. He's huge. I said that stuff like that got me interested in bodybuilding when I
So
was
we're all short. All
And
of us.
then he and then he
Yeah,
then he
really.
got taller and then he grew up and said, "Fuck Lee Priest and fuck me, Jim."
Well, believe it, I became a Lee Priest fan a little bit later. The first guy that inspired me because he was short was Sean Ray. That was
No,
the guy that I was like,
I
oh
don't know
shit.
why I didn't know Sean Ray until later, and when he was a asshole, I realized he was an asshole then. But then
Yeah.
that's
Can't
what I was like,
tell.
oh man, this guy isn't really he composed and everything. But I was like, damn, this guy isn't very nice.
Yeah. Hey, you don't know what that they're jerk offs when you see them in the
What
magazines.
about what about Vince Comerford? He was a short, good bodybuilder back in the
Yeah.
day. Vince Comerford.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
Oh,
who is the one that Lou Ferrigno tapped on the head during the Olympia?
Flavio Baccanini.
Flavio Bassanini.
yeah.
Well, how tall was he? He looked like a midget.
Huge. Wait, he was
4'11",
short, right?
probably.
Yeah.
4'11". I was even tall next to him, so yeah.
He was a bantamweight, right? When he moved forward from
I think
an
I think
amateur
he's
to
about the same height as remember Dean Tornabene? They're about the same height, him and Flavio, about 4'11", just on 5 foot, maybe 5'1".
Theory Pastel, right?
I think he was about 5'4", though, wasn't he? Terry Pastel, 5'5".
I don't know. I don't know. And who else was there that was fucking top at that time? Muhammad was shorter, probably around 5'3", 5'4", right? Benaziza.
Prada. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys that were really
Ahmed
cool.
McCowie.
Mhm.
Muhammad
Oh.
Cowie, yeah.
Mike, after this is over, you got to send me your address. I got to send you a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of shirts,
Actually, times are tough. Luke's going to wash that one and send it to you. You can wear it next week, and when you finish, send it on to Jason, who will then send it to me. We're just going to.
Plenty of other guys who pay
It's
for
full of Luke's pheromones.
We're gonna recycle it.
Speaking of t-shirts, I got my I Prevail Subs t-shirt, and
you see
my nephew started getting back into working out, and I said, well, you gotta, if you want any supplements, you gotta order from I Prevail Subs, and I think he ordered the Mission and the your BCAAs. I think that's what he ordered.
Company, yeah. I remember I saw the last name Livia come through, and I text you.
Yeah.
I said, dude, there's another Livia in Manalapan? You're like, yeah, I think it's my nephew.
Yeah, my nephew is what is he, 37 now, 36, something like 34. He's got 2 kids.
I gotta say, I've had the best 2 nights sleep. That Officer Tatum sent me some of his stuff to try to Synergy. He's got like a sleep formula. And it comes in like a little packet thing. You just tear it and mix it in water. I've only got up once during the night, fall back to sleep, and I've been having those great dreams where it's almost real and it's in color. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Actually, Ons has I Prevail has a sleep aid, and it's
you have a sleep one too?
It's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, it's one of my good sellers. It moves. It's just a weird market. Most people don't think of buying dream aids, but dude, you recover good. It helps you recover, and we all don't fucking sleep well. Yeah, it's called Dream Chaser.
Nothing worse when you got that broken sleep and you wake up and you're like, feel like shit.
I'm due. I actually got to order Mission, and I got to order Dream Chase. I'm actually due.
Mate,
anyway,
John, Jesus can't even help you.
Yeah, that's not true. That's very not true. I don't even pray directly to Jesus, and I get lots of help. I go to.
Do you ever think though when you pray, when we all pray to Jesus, let's just pretend he say his name is really Jesus, and all these years we've been praying, he's like, "You're not talking to me, dickhead. I'm Jesus. I'm not Jesus." So we've been praying to the wrong person.
Yeah, at one name that should be retired, like like Mickey Mantle in Yankee Stadium, should be Jesus. Like, all you Spanish people out there, please, like, stop naming your kid Jesus. Those are really big shoes to fill. I mean,
Jesus.
You're really lucky that that your kid is going to be a plumber, and if that, and you're calling him Jesus. That's kind of
like the waiters would get mad when I go, "G'day, Josie. That's Jose." I'm like, "Okay, Josie."
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand. First topic: Liver King is going batshit crazy. He wants to fight and possibly end Joe Rogan. Did you guys see this shit?
First off, Joe would mop the fucking floor with him. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking.
Yeah,
calling out Joe Rogan, but Liver King doesn't look like he could walk and chew gum at the same time.
Unbelievable.
Much less handle a fucking seasoned fighter like Joe. But dude, he's got to be on some top level psychedelics, or fucking meth. I mean, he's out of his fucking. You hear him talking to the cops like they're gonna wait. He goes to the bathroom.
12 minutes.
Holy shit, dude! It's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, he took a turn in an interesting direction,
What happened to his face too? His face was all like scratched up and torn up, and then
all cut up and scratched
but
up.
The way he's walking around the hotel room and he's carrying that fucking screwdriver, and then he's carrying that like army vest. He's like, "How much time do I have? Would I give me 12 minutes? I just had my enema. This is all about family, and they've got to fight for family." This and that. It's like he's so incoherent with what he's saying, and then he's talking to the cops. "Oh, time 12 minutes. Go 12 minutes." I'm like, "You're a fucking lunatic."
And he had some kind of briefcase with a pistol and cash in it too when they found him.
What's that thing? He had the Joe Rogan logo too, and he had the ice pick or knife on top of that with some other stuff and shit. And it's like, what are you doing?
And then he went to Austin, Texas, which is where Joe Rogan is. And I would have did the same shit as Joe Rogan. I mean, you're getting fucking close, you psycho. What'd you think, Mike, when you saw that shit?
I think he's on drugs. I mean, even in the videos before, I heard people talking about the Liver King. I'm like, who is this guy? Because I'm too big on these crazy people, but he looks like he's on drugs and or having a psychotic episode. But
yeah, you know what I think? Honestly, I think he's one of those cases where he reached great heights in a short period of time, and then it was ripped away from him, and he doesn't know how to handle it. I'm sorry, Manny.
Very good.
When you when we were talking about when Liver King was on top, we were talking about, and you told me the manufacturer that supplies your stuff for your line is the manufacturer that also supplies some of the stuff from his line. And
Right.
I think you were the one that told me that just on Amazon alone, he was making over $1 million a month. Is that
But
right?
well, I have a couple different manufacturers, but one in particular, they do 4 or 5 of my SKUs, maybe more. They were handling his. He had and I think it was right after COVID because shipping costs were through the roof. And originally he was ordering from a manufacturer out in California. But they would drop ship everything to the Amazon accounts. He wouldn't really warehouse anything himself, but he started using one of my manufacturers, and they were telling me, um, he was fucking killing it. Like, but he wanted them to sign an exclusivity deal where they couldn't sell glandulars, like thyroid glandulars or hormonal type glandulars that he was using in his pill products, that if he's going to give them the business, they can't manufacture that for anybody else. And I believe at the time they weren't really manufacturing any type of those raws for anybody else, so they signed off. And dude, even after he had his meltdown years ago, like when he got caught with the steroid, when he said he was natural, his fucking his 6 levels of meltdown that we've all witnessed, they said he was still fucking killing it. And you would have thought, like, after that shit.
Yeah, right.
So, people are buying more now. So it's a crazy market, dude, if you really think about it.
It was on. And then he goes on a rant about the guy that produced his documentary. So I don't know if you saw that. He goes on a rant about the guy who produced this documentary, saying that the guy is a fake Jew, that he's a Jew that just wears a hat, and he's money hungry. And I was like, well, kind of.
He should have just, with all the money he made.
It's the one thing I was like, he's kind of not off on that one.
But I reckon he's worth multi-millions. They reckon even like multi-millions. After he got caught with the steroid thing, he should have apologized and then just quietly went away, because he would have had enough money to spend for the rest of his life. Could have just disappeared.
You know what? I think these guys are. What's up, Big Bo? I think.
What's going on, fellas?
Bo, you remember Mike Morris? Yeah, he was with us last week. Were you on with us last week, Bo?
No, I was working last week.
Yeah, you were working. So Mike is joining us. He is retired IFBB pro. We're talking about the Liver King and how he kind of nailed it with the Jewish producer of his documentary, saying, "Well, that guy wants his money," and it's like, No, we're talking about the Liver King, about how fucking nuts he's going right now.
The problem, like you said, Lee, is sometimes these people, like, you would think, all right, you know what, I could walk away. But some people, it's more about the fucking spotlight. They just can't. They can't get out of their own way. They just can't get out of the spotlight.
You think you might have one of those? I know when you eat a lot of raw meat, you can get like parasites in your guts and that. Maybe he's got some sort of parasite in the brain. Those little fucking.
Or maybe he's got one in his brain like RFK does. Yeah.
Yeah, but think about that. Think about how, especially when you're a young man. See, he's not a young man. He's an older guy.
He looks old.
Which also leads me to believe that he's not mentally stable. Because we've seen this with young men that they shoot to the top, maybe they're athletes or whatnot, like overnight making millions, and they can't handle it. And it's either pulled from them or they get one in trouble and they really wind up going downhill. But in this case, I think this guy is legitimately nuts, plus have some kind of drug addiction, whatever he's using, because he made a lot of money. He has a family. And then it was ripped from him, but he's got to be in the at least
how old is he? I think he just looks a lot. He looks terrible now.
40s at this point, right?
Those last videos of him getting arrested, he looks like he's in fucking 60 odd.
Yeah, I know, he looks terrible. But what did you think when you saw that crazy shit?
I ain't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. Oh.
Really?
Lucky you,
bro. He looks
like a train wreck. That's a train wreck.
Yeah, it's hard. The things that he's saying about Joe Rogan, like he wants to fight Joe Rogan, and he tells Joe Rogan, You better hold on to
Mistake.
you better hold on to a hand of somebody that loves you because you're gonna need that. And I'm fighting for my family. And I'm like, Joe Rogan, I like literally Joe Rogan just called the cops as if he's gonna entertain that. I understand Rogan has like his own secret
Mm,
service, literally.
mm.
So before the guy even got to Joe, he'd have to deal with that. How
We
many
don't want no parts of Joe though.
That's what Jay said. Like literally, I mean, this guy's been studying martial arts since he's like knee high, and like literally, he would fuck you. I mean, whatever. It is unbelievable. This
I
guy's
think it's because he never got to go on the show. I know Joe said once he's always tried to get on his show, and then Joe won't have him on. So maybe this is his last ditch attempt to try get some
Well,
public.
why's he mad at Joe Rogan anyway? I don't even
dude.
know
I have
I
no
this.
think he
fucking.
won't have him on the show because even Joe said, he goes, even at one event, he was down in the front row somewhere where Joe was, and he was trying to yell out about getting on his show and that. So he's always hassling Joe to try get on the show, but I think Joe won't have him on, so he's pissed off.
Yeah,
And then he had that plates no dates guy was on again. I think they were talking shit about the Liver King.
yeah.
So
What's happening is the Liver King is actually blaming everybody for the downfall of his career except himself. So Joe Rogan, more plates, more dates. The guy that produced his documentary, instead of looking in the mirror and coming to terms with the fact that he's a psycho, or maybe his wife should look at him and like, you need help. This is not going to end well for you.
I think
Um,
she's too scared.
yeah, probably, right? It's unbelievable. That seems to be, what's happening. So he's just, and I think there's a lot of parts to this, and I think this is an odd, strange way in his fucked up head to stay relevant, in this crazy world to begin with. It's just
But he
now.
doesn't, like I said, he doesn't look healthy. And even his son on that documentary, his young son looks so old and his skin looked terrible. So eating all that raw shit, whatever they're eating, I don't think's
Yeah, I
too
mean,
good for him.
if you ate fucking lamb's balls raw, I mean, I'm sure it can't be that good either. I mean, it's in the now. I want to know who's crazier, the Liver King or Nathan Deasha saying that he should have won Dubai Pro. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
It
Nathan
was
actually looked
he,
pretty good.
oh, he looked fantastic.
Him
There
and
was
Tony.
probably me and Lee were
Tonio,
talking. Go ahead.
Tonio looked good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me and
Tony looked better than the show, the previous show, than the Legion.
say that again, Luke.
Antonio looked better than the Legions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Me and Lee were talking about this and on Monday, and basically, yeah, Nathan Deasha was on a Muscle Discord, and he was actually saying that he really should have won the show, and that every time he's on there with these panels, he gets fucked. Um, so I don't know what he's thinking. He did probably this was probably one of the best, if not the best versions of Nathan Deasha. But and Mike, I'm going to come to you right now after this. But I honestly think that the reason why he got fourth is because he went up against guys that were in just as good shape with just as good conditioning with better shape. Um, like Tabani, Bonac, Tonio, and he got fourth. And I think he got fourth because of his structure. He was incredible condition, probably one of the best Nathans. He probably would have won any other show that wasn't this top show, but he went against three guys that really brought it with better structure. What do you think, Mike?
I think he looked good. I haven't seen too many of his previous shows, but I mean, I think him and Bonac and Burton could have been interchangeable. But again, I'm just going off pictures that I see on my phone. It's like 2 inches wide.
Yeah, we're all going off pictures, Mike. It doesn't matter.
Right. So,
Mike,
um,
don't be afraid to give an opinion.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't yeah, like you could say like the whole thing about maybe.
Well, when I looked at the pictures, I don't think he should be saying that he beat Tabani at all.
Right.
I don't think so. But as far as like the other placings, I mean, that's kind of just bodybuilding, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, when I saw him, I think the judges got it right where it's at. So
Yeah, I thought the only one you can maybe argue with was maybe Tonio and Bonac going back and forth. But even that, I'm not pissed that Bonac got second. But Lee, you actually had a conversation with Nathan via Instagram. So what was he saying to you?
I just wrote to him saying, "Oh, I heard you piss off," because I'm like Mike. I wouldn't have been upset anywhere from second, third, or fourth. They could have swapped places. Looking, they all had their strong and weak points to them, so could have gone either way in those three. So, but first to beat Beirut, he would have had to be super, super special because Beirut, when he's on, is hard to beat. So, anywhere from second to fourth where he got, I could see changing up a bit. But yeah, he just said, I can't remember what he said about him. I think he talked about something, I guess, like you said, the people don't like him. So didn't he say on the show that, who was judging that show? Was it Steve or someone, or was the head judge? Or
yeah, and if anybody's fair, it's usually Steve. I mean, Steve does not try to fuck guys out of placings. That's
well, his placing is going to be worse now. That if you called Steve out, and you said, the panel don't like me, Steve doesn't like me now. Next time,
but he didn't mention Steve's name though.
Yeah, he just said head judges, basically. But
I thought he mentioned Steve in one of his comments.
You know what? You might be right, because in the title it says he calls out Steve, but I didn't hear him call out Steve. But at the same time,
I thought I did because I thought that's ballsy saying that for that reason. That
but at the same time, I didn't watch the whole thing, so he might have actually mentioned his name in the title. It says he did call him out. But Luke, what do you think? Is it the structure or what do you think? Because the long torso, the high lat insertion, the other guys just seem to have better structure with the same as good conditioning.
They have better structure than him. I mean, he didn't. They were just better. That's just the simple answer. Of course, you're going to go into a show expecting to win and think you look better than everyone. But I mean, that's how you look at yourself in the mirror. The judges are looking at you, so he looked good, but the other guys were better. Like Antonio was way better than him. Like
Antonio looked.
I don't know why he said
amazing.
To me. I don't know why he said they should have been the front runners. Antonio looked way better than him to standing next to him. So that's just how the game goes.
What'd you think, Jay?
It's a tall order for him to be barking like that. He looked good. He definitely looked good.
Oh, he brought it. He definitely brought it.
But the first and second, maybe a good argument to swap those out. I think Neckzilla, still needs to dial it in better, but he made some good changes from the last time I've seen him compete, at least.
Yeah.
Which he's just impressive because he's so fucking big, dude.
Yeah. And now he's doing we're gonna get to it. He's doing the Italy Pro.
Yeah. So
which I think is a really good idea.
But I think it was a good lineup. I think it was competitive.
The top four guys, the top five guys, even Mofuda look good. It's just Mofuda's, has,
Where did Bonnick end up?
Second.
Oh, who am I thinking was third? Who was third?
Tonio.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there was an argument somebody put out there that Bonnick or Tonio should have beat.
You can make that argument because Tonio really looked phenomenal.
I thought Bonnick was third.
No, it was reversed. It was Tonio was third and Bonac was second.
Well, what was up? Is it the Italian show where I didn't quite catch it, but was Nathan saying he missed out by 12 minutes on doing that show or something?
I heard he missed the deadline.
He had a deadline by 12 minutes or something. They wouldn't let him do the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard too.
You would think
because it's weird because Milos was on Jay's show. I was watching in the gym. Yeah. I couldn't quite hear, and I think Baruz hadn't put his name down, and Milos is like, "You got to do it. You got to do it." And he couldn't get a hold of Baruz, so he contacted Tyler, and Tyler said, "Okay, I've got him in." And then when finally Milos got a hold of Baruz, he's like, "No, I'm not doing it." So Milos had to call back Tyler and go, "Take his name off. He's not doing it." But Nathan said he was 12 minutes late for the deadline. They wouldn't let him do the show. I'm like, that's pretty. Deadline's a deadline.
I'm a promoter, dude. I'm a promoter. I don't see.
Thank you, Jay. I was going to go there.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Dude, I have deadlines also. People could still sign up the day of the show, and they'll pay a late fee, But the whole purpose of these deadlines is so the promoter can advertise for these athletes. Lee. I'm not saying anything you don't know. so these guys can make money. So the promoters can make money. But 12 minutes, dude. Yeah, I don't fucking buy that for a second.
Thank you. I was about to say the same thing, and Mike, I'm going to come back to you. Um, Nathan Deasha. Okay, let me give him his props first before I tear him apart. Nathan Deasha is a great bodybuilder. How many wins does he have now? 12, 13? I don't know. He's got this long, extensive career. He has a tremendous amount of pro wins, but he's getting to the point where his credibility is like basically falling apart. Between him not admitting that he can't come to the States because he has an arrest record in the UK, and then between him saying that he should have won the Dubai Pro, and he is doing this long enough to realize what his structure looks like compared to the other guys, he brought it 100%. But when you're going up against Bonac, Tonio, and Tabani, who also brought it and were also spot on, structure is going to be the only thing that you got to go by. And now saying that the Italy Pro wouldn't let you on because you were 12 minutes ahead of the deadline, behind the deadline. I'm not buying it either because there's nobody in that show. Neckzilla is the only one in that show. After that, the only guy with a half a name that only half bodybuilders know is Andrea Presti. I would have, I would have said, "You're doing it, yeah, no problem." Nathan Diaz is a huge name, so I'm not buying it. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, when I heard 12 minutes, I was like, it's not computing to me. They should let him in there. So maybe there's something else going on that we don't know about. I do want to talk about the no neck guy because I did see the pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Neckzilla right after because I want Luke and Bo's opinion on
Nathan, the 12 minute thing, I don't know. I'm not buying that,
Yeah, I'm not buying that. And Nathan is starting to have a reputation of telling tall tales to make himself look a little better.
Right.
Maybe it's all the bitching.
Maybe it's what?
Yeah, let's be real. The IFBB hasn't heard this much bitching since Lee Priest. But hold on.
I never bitched about placings or anything. I just bitched about how they treated it.
In all fairness, Lee bitched about stuff that, apropos, dude, like really had an argument. He never complained about placing, even when he deserved some placings that he didn't get.
Well, honestly, none of the guys here, with the exception, obviously, I never turned pro, but none of the guys here, Bo, Lee, Jay, Luke, Mike, do I ever remember bitching about their placings.
Well, it's not even bitching. It's turned into like whining.
What'd you say, Mike?
Whining.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said I did when I got back to my room.
Yeah, right.
You talk about them behind your back,
Yeah,
you let the fans do it. You let the fans do the bitching, and you just say nothing.
Right.
And show up in better shape next time.
Nathan Deasha has been doing this a very long time, and I think he should understand that his structure is the only thing that really could keep him from winning a show, depending on the show that he's in. At this point, he's been doing this a very long time. He is a dominant bodybuilder as far as wins. He's got like, I don't know, I don't even know. I didn't even look it up. 11, 12, 13 pro wins, which is fantastic.
He's like a Darian of these times, Lee. Where Darian was a great pro, had a dozen and a half wins, but to make it to that top level, he just wasn't there. And that's Nathan. He's got a great physique, but he's not one of the top pros.
And even if he won, you can't get to the Olympia.
What's the highest he got in the Olympia, Nathan? Was it he got in the top 10 before?
He did. He broke the top 10. I want to say ninth or 10th. He definitely broke the top 10. Because when he first came out, I was a huge fan of his when he first came out. Because he was massive and it would come in great conditioning and so on and so forth. And it was the two. I remember Nathan and Bonac were the two guys coming up during that time. I'm like, these two guys are really going to be good. All right. Neckzilla. Did look better at the Dubai Pro. He is so impressive with his size. And what's even more impressive with his size is his waist. He doesn't have a blown out waist. He has a small waist for somebody that's so massive. It just looked like his legs were so huge that they couldn't really get too separated. But what do you think, Luke?
Yeah, well. That's actually the best I've seen him. He looked good.
Yeah.
He really good from previous shows, but the legs are just overpowering. It just kills the rest of the physique. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, they're just it's like, do they need to be smaller? Do they need more separation? I was just like, man, it's just the legs are killing them, just killing them at the show. It's just he looked good too. That was the best I've seen him, and I was actually very impressed. I said, okay, he's training. He's trying to do whatever it takes.
Putting the work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's doing the Italy Pro. I think that's a very good decision on his part. But Lee, what could he do about those legs to get them separated? Because all right, maybe in a year's time, but now he's clearly the favorite to win the Italy Pro, and then he can go to Olympia. What do you do about those legs to separate them in a short period of time like this?
It'd have to be more of a fluid issue because it's definitely not body fat on him. So it's got to be a fluid thing. But he's a guy, like I said, his legs are so overpowering and massive, and his calves are incredible. It's like he's a guy who could probably maybe go a bit harder on cardio. I don't know if he does lots of cardio or dieting, but if he even just went down, if he lost a little bit of muscle, who's going to notice it, So for him to sacrifice a little bit of muscle to get more shredded, it'll probably work out to his benefit because a couple of pounds of muscle of him, you're not even going to notice that anywhere. So, and if he did lose a couple of pounds of muscle and got more shredded, he's going to look gigantic anyway. Imagine him rock hard shredded, my God.
He's he'd be in the top 5 of the Olympia rock hard shredder with that fucking size.
Like I said, he should look into movies.
Yeah, be a fucking professional wrestler or a villain or something. Bo, what do you think? You agree with that assessment? Because he's only got a short period of time. He's got a week to the Italy Pro. If he wins that, he's got to go to the Olympia. What does he do?
Yeah, I think it's a diet issue, really, though. He needs to diet longer than probably what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And then just, like, I wouldn't be doing no leg press, no squats, none of that. I'd just be doing straight leg extensions. Just go for detail in your leg. His legs is already there.
Yeah.
Like hamstrings and legs extension. That's all you need to do, to me anyway. And just like Lee said, yeah, kill it on the Stairmaster, because you can't lose nothing. You got it.
Good, Mike. What do you think? You agree with that assessment? Because that's actually that's a very accurate, detailed assessment, which I agree with. I think that's a really good point. Go ahead, Mike.
When I saw him, I was really impressed with him. When I saw the pictures of him, when I looked up the Dubai Pro, I was like, wow, this guy looks incredible. He's going to win this show. And then I saw him compared to all the other guys. I was like, oh, okay. Now I see
Right.
But I agree with what everybody was saying there. If he comes in 10 pounds harder, I don't know, maybe hit the step mill, cut his water down. But if he comes in ripped to the bone, he's going to do some real damage. He kind of reminds me of like a Paul DeMeo, where you're just kind of like a collection of awesome body parts, awesome legs, awesome arms, but kind of not really flowing together. But I think he just needs to come in ripped. He's got muscle in spades, so he just needs to come in shredded to the bone. That would be my.
You think he could do this in a short period of time? He's only got a week to Italy and then the Olympia.
Yeah, cut his carbs out completely and start doing the step mill every single day.
Yeah.
Just like we used to do when we were trying to turn pro. I remember doing the USAs and stuff. All those competitors, light heavyweights and heavyweights, middleweights, they would be sucking up just to make the weight, And I think some of the pros nowadays would benefit from just doing that kind of cardio, dieting, sucking up for a show, not worrying about where your body weight is, just worry about your condition.
What do you think, Jay? You agree with that?
I think he's a freak, and I think he should, believe it or not, I don't think he should really detract much from, like, he's never going to train and have the best shape in the world. He's never going to train to look like a Flex Wheeler. It's a totally different body.
Yeah.
He could streamline a little bit more and work on some details, like, some sissy squats, lying down extensions where you're completely flat, where he needs to do more stretching type quad exercises to get deep separation and deep detail. and tighten his diet up a little bit, whether it's dropping his carbs, extra cardio. I don't know what he does to fine tune. He definitely could push that a little bit, but he's such an attraction, and I think Paul DeMeo was a great, I was actually thinking of that, while everybody was talking, like a Quadzilla, he has that type of, prestige, where he's such an attraction. Why ruin that and go for a different look? I mean, he could, if he dials it in a little more, dude, he could be a top 5, top 6 guy.
Oh yeah.
And look, and there's no shame in that. Will he ever win the Olympia? I don't want to say he can't, but probably not, but fucking go with there's a lot of guys that are never going to win the Olympia, but that's right. His market probably isn't winning the Olympia. The market is looking like a fucking freak. He's got good shape. It's not ugly shape. Yeah. And he's got really good body parts throughout. It's just collectively, they look a little, when you put him next to a guy that has fucking nice shape and structure, and he has good shape and structure. I think he should just keep doing what he's doing, dial it in a little tighter, a little tighter, fine tune it. Work on that separation a little more. But dude, he's such a fucking show. Fucking keep going with that.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all remember when Rolly placed in the top 5 that year?
Yeah,
he came in 3rd.
But
yeah.
After he did that, you see what happened to him? Rolly was everywhere, guest posing.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody wanted him.
Yeah.
Like Neckzilla, I feel you though, Jay. Like Neckzilla get in and just place like top 5 or something like that. Imagine what kind of doors are open up for him.
Yeah, that's actually a really good fucking point. He's such a freak.
You can be the freak and I ain't never got to win Olympia, but
right.
that money ain't gonna look like you won Olympia.
Just look at Platts, and all Platts had was the freaky legs, and he's still popular today. But the thing is, if Rubio had that, I don't know, because I don't see him much on Instagram posting stuff. It's always people posting for him. But if he had like a Tom Platts, Mike Matarazzo personality, he would be rolling into dollars. If he had that type of outgoing personality, people would even just go crazy. Like you said, top 5, he would never have to win a pro show, but he'll be making more than the guys who are winning. So
yeah, no, you're right. I don't even know if he speaks English. That's a really good point.
He could have a good career if he's thinking of going in that direction. He could. He's an attraction. Who the fuck wouldn't pay to see that, dude?
If I were his handlers, I would do the best I can to win Italy. On paper, he's probably going to win in Italy. And then do the Olympia, and then do another 1 or 2 shows right after the Olympia.
It's like the modern day Victor Richards is just competing.
Yeah, right. Do another 1 or 2 shows after the Olympia. Market yourself. Try to learn your body. Get in as best shape as you can. And then, like you said, once people really get to know who you are, and you're a freak, Bo hit the nail on the head. You could really market yourself and go out there and make a ton of money, guest posing and expos and so on and so forth. But he's got to make himself, he's got to put himself out there. Yeah. And if it's not his personality, he's going to have to compete, Well,
you look at Victor Richards, never competed. People loved him because he had that freak factor. You go back to, what's his name, Rich Piana, never competed, but he had the personality, made a fortune. So Rubio's competing. Plus, he's got the freak factor. If he can just work on the personality and marketing, the sky's the limit, making money.
No question about it. Actually,
Victor Richards didn't talk much. I don't remember hearing much out of him.
Yeah, no. What made him
he used to abuse Gary Strider all the time.
Yeah, I remember those. That was fun.
Richard didn't have to get on stage.
Yeah, say that again, Lee. What did you say? I missed that.
He used to always abuse Gary Strider. And one morning I was even having breakfast with Gary, and he comes in the firehouse. Gary's like, oh God. He's like, what? He goes, I hate you. He's like, what? He goes, your people killed my people, because they were both from South Africa. So Gary being white, him being black. Your people killed my people. Gary's like, hey, bro, I had nothing to do with that. Doesn't matter.
Well, the tables have turned, Victor Richards.
He got kicked out of Golds once, because Ed Connors was always kicking him out of Golds. And one day, this woman was walking out of the gym, and he's walking out next to me, just yells out, show us your pussy, out of the blue.
Really? I didn't know
he could be nice. Some days he was a bit
I didn't know he was nuts until Dave Palumbo interviewed him. Remember, after everybody thought he died?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of years ago, and he's like, I'm not dead. And then Dave had him on his show. And I remember I tuned in because, he was this mythical figure. And I'm like, This guy's fucking nuts. What the hell's wrong with this guy?
He'd go through stages. He'd be like normal, talk to him normal. And other days, you'd be like, "Oh, he's off with the birds today." So he'd have these ups and downs.
Yeah, it's a little nuts. But what do we got? We got the let's see what do we got. We got the Italy Pro. Let's see. I know I have the list somewhere here.
So Presti and Rubio. I didn't really know any other names on there.
Oh, I sent it to you, but okay, we got
I see Adolf Hitler's in it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Samir
Trudy, who we haven't seen in a very long time. I'm not holding my breath with Samir Trudy either, because the last couple of times he competed, he really dropped the ball.
But I think didn't he try to do the 212 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't need to do that.
Yeah. Jay, I don't know if you remember one of the earliest shows you and I did. Samir Trudy was in it, and I said, "Look at this guy, Jay. He doesn't even look like he did anything. He looked terrible on stage. There was no dieting. It was, and I don't know if you remember that, but this was him. This was like a couple of years ago when you first started coming on.
Yeah, Sam, right? Sammy.
Yeah, I think Samir Trudy, and he really.
You're thinking of he was a top 212 guy when I was retiring, right?
I think you're thinking of Sammy. Sammy. What's his name? Sammy. He competed in the PDI. That Sammy against me.
You know what? Let's just look him up.
Then he went IFBB. I think I know the Sammy you're talking of.
Let's just look him up. Let's see. Samir.
That guy who won the 212 in Dubai should go do the Italian show. He looked pretty good. The young kid, 22.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, this is him. This is Samir Trudy. You know, and what is this? 1 week out?
Well, he ain't built like Bo, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he ain't. That is for sure. Yeah.
Got nothing on Bo wearing that.
He's standing in a cold room, Jay. Go easy.
Yeah. Just got a cold shower. Bo
said that's an excuse white people use.
We use it all the time. Well, so we'll take it.
Look, don't y'all start going racist on here.
It looks like
these are facts, Bo. These are facts.
It looks like he didn't make much of a difference in the last few years that he's been
put tan on
out of it. You know,
oh, that's a guest posing right there.
Guest posing.
The Swedish pro bodybuilder from blah 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 has been an active bodybuilder since 2005, born in Egypt. His mother
He's got a beard. Look at that beard.
Yeah, well, that is definitely a fucking Egyptian beard.
You know what he weighs, John?
What's up?
You know what he weighs?
I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Third place, Arnold Classic, 212, 2018. 15th place, 2018, Mr. Olympia. First place, Amateur Olympia in Kuwait. Those
that's the last time he competed?
Those are his biggest victories. Because he really dropped the ball. I remember. It just looks like all this time he's had off.
Yeah.
He has not made any great changes. You look at a guy like, okay, here's the thing. I don't know if we're being spoiled or these guys just don't want to work. You look at a guy like Sas, who hasn't competed in 5 years, and he comes out of fucking retirement and he fucking kills it, right? And then you look at a guy like this, and it's like, you haven't competed in a very long time. In the last couple of showings, you didn't really do so well. Where's the passion? Where's the ambition? He doesn't look like
he'll be coming back even harder, because I know when I took 7 years off and I was coming back just to do the NABA universe, it was the hardest prep, because I'm thinking, fuck, 7 years away, how am I going to look if I fail? I'm going to fucking be the laughing stock. So I just made sure I got that fucking hard. So I figured, okay, guys might be bigger in Europe in NABA, so I'll just go for the shreddedness, and luckily it worked in my favor. But fuck, I was more determined than ever after taking time off to come back.
Yeah, you don't want to look like a fool. And I'm not saying the guy doesn't look good. All I'm saying is his last show, he didn't really do so well. And now he doesn't look like he's made great improvements. He looks okay. This is a week out from the Italy Pro. I
He's got good shape, dude. He's got everything there. It's he's got to deliver.
He's got great shape.
Condition. That he just got to come in condition.
It's very it's very it's very difficult when you see a guy like, and I know when we're talking about the top guys, I get it. I know we're talking about special guys, but it's very difficult when you see a guy like Samson that has made incredible progress. When you see a guy like Hadi that has made incredible progress. When you see a guy like Derek that has made incredible progress. Nick, and then this year Sas took the world by storm. Even Regan Grimes, and then you have a guy like Samir that looks like he has all the bells and whistles and all the tools, and he looks the same he did, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. It's disappointing because it's more disappointing when you see a guy that has the ability and doesn't seem to want to put the work in. Now, I don't know what goes on in his private life. I'm just judging by what we hear, what we hear now, what we see. That's.
I think if you're not competing, you're going to lose that fire. So I think the idea is if you're going to take time off, you still got to train like you're going to compete. You've got to have that mind frame like you're still going to be up there competing. Because if you sort of relax a little bit, the guys who are competing aren't relaxing, so they're going to keep improving. Where you could be stagnant and still look good, but you're not making the improvements you could be making if you had that tunnel vision, getting ready for shows and really going 100%.
Yeah, and so he's getting on stage and he's got to stand next to Rubiel. And it's I just
don't stand in the shadow of that quad.
Yeah, really. Yeah, right, exactly. It's just I don't know.
So based upon everybody we've seen so far, John,
yeah,
who do you think the top guy for the Olympia right now is?
Who would I have to pick right now?
Yeah, of course we got more qualifiers to come and more physiques. But right now,
gun to my head.
Well, let's say no gun. We don't have to get that violent. This is not a violent.
Gun to my head. I know everybody's gonna call. Gun to my head. If I had to pick right now a winner for the Olympia, I'm going with Hadi. Because I think Hadi was really upset last year. And I think he's going to bring it, really, really bring it. And when Hadi is on, and he really brings it like when he won the Olympia, I don't think anybody could really beat him.
Fingers crossed he can get here.
Yeah, well, that's a totally different story, right? If he can get, he might not be able to get here.
What does everybody else think?
Yeah, that's a good question. What do you think?
I like Derek. I like Derek Lunsford.
Yeah.
Luke?
I mean, Tabani looked excellent.
That's the thing. That's a whole other question. And Lee's right. I mean, the shit that's going on in Iran, I wouldn't hold my breath for Hadi and Tabani to get here.
Luke, what do you think?
I still think they have to take it from Samson.
Lee?
They have to take it from him.
Yeah, I'm thinking if Samson comes in condition like he was a little bit tired, it'll be hard to get it from him. But it's like I said, even a gun to my head, I couldn't really pick. That's why I think it's an exciting Olympia this year, because really, if they all come in shape, then it's really going to be up to the judges on who they like that day. Imagine Derek 100%, Hadi 100%, Samson 100%. It's going to be a big decision.
All Samson has to do to win is really come in better than he did last year. He has to beat himself, and he wins again, because that's what everyone is going to see. Yeah. He looks better than last year. That's all they're going to say. It doesn't matter how Derek and everybody else look. If Samson beats himself last year, he wins again.
Yeah.
He's the champ. And if he beats himself, which is last year's champ, he wins again. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, Bo, what do you think? That's a good question, Jay. Samson.
Yeah, I got Samson too. I think he's he just has the shape and the look, and
he's fun. He's phenomenal. He comes in 5% harder.
And it's hard to say because I'm shorter, but he's a taller guy. It looks better. He's got a better flow.
Yeah. Samson got a physique. Samson's physique is a bigger Lee Haney.
Yes. Yes.
But not his condition.
Right.
But he got a bigger Lee Haney physique.
But if he comes in 5% more conditioned,
it's game over.
They're going
to send him on to the back.
Here's the thing why I picked Hadi. I don't think Hadi is a stupid guy. I think he's very aware of the limits he has in bodybuilding now as he's getting older. I think I think to him, he has this now or never attitude. And we've seen him have that fire in competing when he lost to Derek and then he came back and won the Olympia, right? To prove to everybody that I'm still here. Now, that doesn't he went on to lose the Olympia again, right? Only this time to Samson. But I think he knows his professional career is going to be very limited, and I think he has the drive to do what he has to do, and he has the capability of suffering to do what he has to do to take that title again. Now, who do I want to win? I am the biggest Samson fan ever. If Samson wins, I'm doing a backflip. But that's the only reason why I'm picking Hadi. Because with all that muscle and that small waist, and he's pretty much flawless when it comes to size, if he could bring that conditioning that he did when he won the Olympia, that's going to be tough to beat.
He got to bring that condition from the back.
Right. Yeah.
If he bring that condition from the back like he bring it to the front,
right.
Yeah, he can shut the door on a lot of people.
Absolutely. 100%.
Is there any truth to the rumor that people are sparking up that Ramy could be going to do it this year, or is that just
fuck? I hope not. Oh God,
I'd love to see him do it.
I mean, he's got all right. If he does it, he's gonna block me again. All right, if he does it, the large majority of guys that come out of retirement that are at that top level wind up fucking dropping the ball and look like crap. We've seen it with
Ramy ain't old though.
What?
Ramy ain't old.
No, I know that. But the idea that you're at the top of the heap and he was Mr. Olympia twice, and then he's retired and he's living the good life, and now you have to come back and train like you did. It's very difficult to do that. We saw it with Jay Cutler when he made his comeback in 2013. We saw it with Kevin Levrone when he made the comeback. We've seen it with Flex Wheeler when he made the comeback in Classic. We've seen it with so many guys that were at the top of the top, and retired for several years, got comfortable, and were like, you know what, I think I want to do this again. It seems to be a very difficult road for them. And so I think Ramy is going to be in that same position. Now, I might be wrong, but that's just my educated guess. A guy like Sas, say again, Bo? What would you say?
He's doing it for the fans. He said he don't care about his place.
Well, if that's the case, then count him. Then he's going to look like crap.
Yeah. It could look okay.
They said a man ain't never stopped training hard, though.
You know, if that's the case, if he decides that he wants to do it for his fellow countrymen in Egypt, and not to actually win,
work out better.
You know,
it could work out better because the mindset. I know, like I said, when I was doing that universe, the first month, I'm like, I'm coming back for the university. If I fail, I'm going to look like shit. And I was putting that much stress on myself. I was like fucking trying to train, do cardio. I'm like, fuck, this is stressing me out. I just figured, fuck it, Lee. You're going to the university guest post. You're going for the fiends. And I had that mentality, and I looked the best I ever looked. So it can go either way, depending on how your mind is.
No, yeah, but Ramy's one of those guys that always had trouble dialing in, and it took him a very long time to hit it and nail it. And once he nailed it, he won 2 in a row. And now you're asking him to take whatever 3 or 4 years off, whatever it was. And the last one he did, he came in like 6th or something like that.
He was overlooked.
Yeah, all right. So he was overlooked.
Yeah, we all know that. Like, if you look at Olympia and look at how he looked at the honor,
they did him dirty. So
because he didn't guest pose in Pittsburgh.
So, so my opinion is that if he's coming back, a guy that has always had an issue nailing it and finally found it and then took time off and has to come back and figure out how to nail it again, I don't think it's going to work well in his favor. You know, it would be fun to see. I'd love to see him up there. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I mean? I hope he does it.
Well, it would be good because you got Samson. You'd have Samson, Hardy, Derek, Ramy, Brandon Curry,
Walker.
And who else? Is there one more? Mr. Olympia's
Brandon Brandon's retires his last
Just Walker, you got
Brandon's
Martin to
retired.
get together. You got a few other guys that could make a good showing. I don't see Ramy being a threat to anybody in the top 6 right now.
Yeah, I agree, Jay.
He just
Yeah,
wasn't looking good on his way out the past couple shows, and
yeah.
the holes in his legs and the
And
you know and
it's like,
waist aggressively getting wider and wider
oh, I
and
forgot about the holes in his legs. That's right. Yeah, I
He's
forgot about
definitely
that.
blocking you.
Look like 2 ice cream scoopers. Yeah, I joined the club. It's fine, really. It's fucking fine. I'm surprised Muscle Discord didn't block me yet. But
it's all good press.
yeah, exactly. But it's just like anything else. There's new young guys coming up. There's a lot of young guys coming up that look fucking great, man. And it's just like a cycle, when Ramy was coming up, when he won the New York Pro, it was like, yeah, this guy's coming to get it. It's just a cycle, man. What are we laughing at? What did I miss?
I was just talking about it's like a cycle.
What'd you say?
You had to throw in the new guy thing.
New guy, yeah, that's what I was
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I saw Luke smile. And I was like,
I didn't even think of that. Oh, I didn't even think of that. No, what I
I
meant,
can't even help it. I can't even help
I
it.
didn't mean it like that.
Look,
I meant there's always
I
new.
would just say this. I would just say this. When Nathan Deasha started going on his draft, I said, these fucking new guys here, they going.
Yeah. I didn't mean it like that. I totally forgot. I meant that like, there's new guys always coming up and are a lot hungrier. That's what I meant.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
All right. So let's have some fun. Let's have some order.
Dude, now they're on Reddit True Tide. None of them are hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
All right.
got
We have a guy.
able to keep me in line.
We have a guy that watches the show, and he's.
Hey, you didn't mention Fouad.
Oh fuck! Oh, right.
I got to keep you on track here. Telling people at the beginning of the show what we're going to talk about.
He's gonna wind up blocking me too. Shit. From what I understand, he's doing much better. I had texted Paul, but I didn't ask him for any details.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, I hope he's doing okay, man. Prayers and thoughts. Just tell him we're thinking about him. I didn't mention.
Does anybody know how bad he was? Like what we're talking
pretty bad. From what I understand, he's still in the hospital. I don't know the details of what the damage.
Are we talking? Like, what are we talking?
I think he's going to wind up being fine, but I don't know. I know he has mobility problems right now with his hands. There's a short video of him trying to shave his beard in the bed or trying to comb his beard in his bed, and he's having problems with his hands. But I don't know the details of the injuries, and I don't think anybody does because the family is keeping it private, which I don't blame them.
That's where you know it's sort of bad.
And which is one of the reasons why I didn't ask for details for Paul and I didn't do a video on it, because some things need to be kept sacred. The guy got into a bad motorcycle accident. He's in bad shape. I can only imagine what the pain that his wife is in and the rest of his family. I just hope he turns out to be, okay, man, because
I was only thinking it was bad because when you read the thing too, where was one of the latest statements where it said that his wife and brothers flew out there and stuff. And I had 2 mates who were in motorbike accidents, and I think one of them, he broke both his legs, his pelvis, and hit his head pretty bad. And they put him in an induced coma and said, hey, this could be touch or go because there's so many things broken. When they put you in an induced coma, it could either go good or bad. So his whole family was told to pretty much get out there in case it went either way. So, I'm thinking, when you come off a motorbike, sadly, if there's nothing around, if there's a tree, guardrail, a car, you generally come off second best.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. It happened to my cousin last year. He was in a self-induced coma from a motorcycle accident too. And me and my oldest brother still ride bikes, so it is what it is. What the fuck else was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Before we go into the final topic, I have to throw it out there. If people out there, we had a guy named on Justin Morgan Lee, and Justin Morgan Lee has a YouTube channel. And he also has other social media platforms, TikTok and Instagram, and he has a fitness channel. And so once a month, me and Lee are going to bring somebody on like that has a smaller following to try to help him, give him some exposure. And once a month, we are going to choose somebody to be on shooting the breeze with us, and Justin Morgan Lee was the first person. It turned out to be really good. He turned out to be a really good dude. He is a former U.S. Coast Guard and really into bodybuilding and training. And he actually put an entire gym in his basement that it cost 20 grand. And he he actually started a YouTube channel. So go and try to check out his channel. He does know what he's doing when it comes to bodybuilding. So any of you out there that have YouTube channels, Instagram, TikTok, and you're trying to get it off the ground, and it is a fitness influenced YouTube channel, hit me up, email me, and then I will pick a random person every month to have them on to try to help them out, to try and get them off the ground and try to get them more subscribers. Email me, John_Olivia at Yahoo, Uncle John1201 at Gmail, or hit me up on Instagram. So it's just my way of trying to give back, just like all you guys help me out. Lee, Jay.
You know who sent me a good video the other day?
Who's
I
that?
wish they saved it on Instagram. Was because I commented on one of his things. Is that movie guy? Scott Atkins, the martial arts guy.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a video going, "Hey Lee, what's up? I'm at the gym here." He's in goes to Legends Gym somewhere in the UK, and the gym owner met me before I had my picture on the wall. So we did a pretty cool video from the gym. He actually, in John Wick 4, remember he had the big fat suit on in John Wick 4?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
guy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he doing Borka 5, ain't he?
Is he doing another one, is he?
Yeah, I think he's doing Borka 5.
Is he? I watched John Wick. I watched the first John Wick to completion. The other ones I've seen in bits and pieces. I know who you're talking about, but I've never watched it from beginning to end. I know the character you're talking about, though.
Hey, what's going on with Mike O'Hearn and Chris Cormier?
I saw that. Yeah,
right.
They sent me that thing to share, and I'm like,
what's going on with those two guys?
I was like, what the fuck is this? I didn't know what it was.
Something is throwing down. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
Say that again, Mike. What happened?
I saw the same video too. I think Mike O'Hearn put it out, but he was just saying Mike O'Hearn's going to be there, Chris Cormier is going to be there, and they're going to throw down, whatever that means.
Sean Ray going to be a
You're going to beat up Chris Cormier, the guy.
It was just an Instagram video. That's all I took from it.
I hope he's not serious. I really hope he's not serious.
Again, on that CT, whatever it is, CT Free TV sent me a thing going, and you and Sean are going on first as the undercard or something, and this many pay-per-views. I'm like, what?
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's got to be a joke because there's no Chris Cormier. He's like everybody's grandfather. I mean, give me a break. I mean, even though I disagreed with him on many things, and I called him out for being a hypocrite and saying
you
crazy.
said he needs his IQ checked.
I said he needs his IQ checked because he said the Olympia should be invite only. Touching him or punching him or hitting him would be just classless, really. All right, we're gonna have some fun. There's a guy who watches the show. He's a competitive bodybuilder, and he wants us to critique his physique. So I want is a new guy. We did it once before, and this will be the last topic of the evening. And this guy was really trying to get me. We were supposed to do it last week, but last week turned into a shit show.
It's a bit of our show he watches.
Yeah, right. Where is he? Right here. Connor Burton.
Right.
Trying to go one less subscriber. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to fucking tear into this guy. Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Let's pull up some pictures. So Connor Burton is a competitive bodybuilder, I believe, NPC. This guy sucks dick.
How do you really feel? How do you really feel?
This guy blows. Jesus Christ, man.
John, are you serious? This guy wants...
Yeah, no. Yeah.
How old is he?
Do we know
how old is he? I don't know. Let's go to his profile.
We need to know, like, a background, how long you've been training, are you natural, what you've done?
He has a bachelor's in science and kinesiology.
Oh, that means he's knowing that bro science.
Yeah, and he's also an online personal trainer, a strength coach. All these
against him.
I don't know what the hell else he's got going on. Here he is now.
You just got a good physique.
He actually looks good. I know. I was fucking around before. He actually really looks good.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick analogy real quick.
Go ahead. Let me pull up some other pictures and see.
A little more sweep in the thighs.
The
I mean, his age, I don't know what his goals are. If he's looking at, obviously, everybody wants to be a fucking pro.
Here we go. That's a good pick.
That's look good from the front. Maybe a little more from the rear, some more hamstring, a little more width across the top. But he looks to be in really good conditioning.
He needs more size.
Yeah, a little more upper body. Like, did you look at pictures of Jay Cutler early in his career, and you're like, would this guy ever be a pro? And then you saw a couple years later, like, holy shit. This guy looks good. He looks good.
He actually does look good. He's actually a pretty impressive bodybuilder.
Sometimes you see carpet in hotel rooms with the lines in it like that.
Yeah, remember those days?
Double tree.
Here we go. Here's a better. I don't know what show this was.
If they send in things, they need to send in how long they've been training, what their goal is, how old they are.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have that info, so we're just going on this.
Like if you've been training 25 years and you've been consistent for 20 years and that, then okay, give it up.
Yeah, he got a nice shape though.
He does. Let me see. Okay, this is even though the judges told me I should do either USA's or nationals this year, I have decided to wait until next year to grow and focus on my career. Gives me plenty of time for a productive off season. I think that's actually a really good idea because this guy looks like the kind of guy that can win, and he looks like the type of bodybuilder I was. I can go in and win any local show, but I knew that if I went to a national level show, they were going to hand me my head and tell me to go home.
That's where we need to know, though, when they say I'm going to take time to grow. Like if he's been training 15 years or more now and taking gear, well, how much more are you really going to grow?
Right.
So
yeah.
If it's only been a couple of years and he looks like that, yeah, well, he's probably still going to grow some more. But it's like when people say, can you rate my physique? And then you see people go, oh, you got potential. I'm like, he's been training 20 years now and blasting. How much more potential does he fucking have?
Yeah, like, no, you're absolutely right. Is his tire? Is his body beat up? Is his body? Has he been doing this for 20 years?
When you're in contest shape, it's hard to pick their age because you always look older when your face is all sucked in and drawn.
Yeah. But if he wants to be a competitive national level bodybuilder and try to turn pro, he's gonna have to put more size on. There's no question about it. It looks like bodybuilding. He's got the bodybuilding trunk.
No, but I mean, like what, heavyweight, middleweight?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't.
He looked like a probably light hip. I mean, what is it? Light heavyweight?
Light heavy or a middle? Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Light heavy, but based upon what he's writing here, he looks like he knows what he needs. He's in touch with reality.
Right.
Which is always a good sign. And it looks like he has good expectations. He's taken the judges' criticism, in a positive way, and did another year of training. He could do some damage.
Yeah. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, he just need more time. He'll do all right.
Yeah. He looks good.
I think he should pack it in and maybe try fly fishing. This guy sucks.
Go challenge Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Go take up fly fishing.
God, this is the new generation right here.
Yeah. He honestly, I'm just breaking balls. He looks great. If he's got to put at least 10 more pounds of solid muscle on to be competitive at a national level, show. If he doesn't, if he just wants to continue to compete because that's what he loved, then this is fine. But if he wants to go to a national level show and do damage, he's going to have to put at least 10 pounds of lean muscle on.
That Liver King's all over, like Officer Tatum. Everything I go on, they're talking about the Liver King. So if you want more viewers and more traction, just challenge and threaten Joe Rogan, and every station will pick it up.
Yeah.
That's going to be look that up because I ain't seen it.
That's going to be me next. I'm going to have to fucking.
I wait till you see him in the hotel room, Bo. He's just like off his fuck. I don't know what he's on, but he's just what he's talking about, and he's just like incoherent. He's jumping from one to the other, the family. Then he's talking about the coffee enema, talking about the police out there, and he's carrying that knife, and the guy filming's like, I don't think you should carry that out when the police are out there. He's like, no, I shouldn't. I was like, walk out with a knife in your hand to the cops, see what happens.
You know what he sounds like? He sounds like a drug addict would sound.
Yeah.
Exactly like a drug addict would sound, and they're only coherent to themselves.
Before he left to go to Austin, his face wasn't messed up, but in Austin, he's got all those scratches on his face, like he's had a fall or hit his face on something, or.
That's what happens when you're, at the highest level of drug abuse.
Mike, you went on King Kamali and Amin Adibi's show.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, geez. Oh, is that what? I thought it was recently.
Well, whatever, covered about a month ago, something like that.
Oh, how did that wind up going?
It went good.
I just
Yeah,
saw
went
it recently, actually.
I actually just contacted him because I know he had Melvin Anthony on there, and I contacted him because I watched that show and I thought it was great because King Kamali, Melvin Anthony, and myself, we all turned pro in the same year.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I really connected with everything that they were talking about, old times and competing and newer guys, younger guys. And so I said, hey, we should have us all on, all the guys that turned pro in 99. I think Aaron Madron was the other person that turned pro in that year. So that would be a cool episode.
Thanks for reminding me. I got to go on that show at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Oh, Jesus.
5 a.m. your time.
Yeah,
5
really.
a.m. my time.
King
Yeah.
Kamali is one of those guys that he knew me before I did the show. I was working as an expediter in NPC shows, and he met me once, and he remembered my name, and I was like, "Wow, King Kamali fucking remembers who I am."
Because you irritate him that much.
Yeah, no, and what happened was I was picking his brain about what to eat, and then he came up to me the next show we saw him, and he's like, "John, you brought your food with you this time," because I was working backstage, and I had my food, and I was like, "Wow!" And I remember I took a picture with him and so on and so forth, and he was one of the first guys that came on my show, even my old channel 5 years ago. So I just want to say that I hope if he has any family in Iran, I hope they're safe because King is one of those guys that is just a solid dude. And if you ask him for something, he's always right there to help. I hope his family's safe in Iran. I hope it's nothing. I just hope that he's okay and whatever family members is okay over there. And that's really it.
I've been getting death threats from Iranians anyway this week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, just because I posted that funny thing of the bee bomber dropping bombs. I was like, bomb, 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 bomb,
Hey,
bomb.
that was crazy.
bomb.
Man, I see why you was getting. Yeah, you crazy.
But then people got upset when I was watching Dave and Chris were on Chris Aceto, and they were talking about Beirut when they were on live the other morning. It's 3 a.m. I come up with silly ideas, and they're like, I wonder what Beirut is going to spend the money on. So I typed a new roof.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Too soon? Too soon?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey,
Too soon. It's going on right now.
Y'all see what Beno's what they did at Beno's gyms for them? So when they got back, gave him extra $10,000, had cake and everything out there for him.
Really good.
Yeah, they treat their people good, man. Over here, you get congratulations, they're gone somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. Over there in the Middle East, in Iran and Egypt and if in Kuwait, if you're a bodybuilder, you're like fucking.
Well, even years ago, 1988, they had the World Championships in Australia. A guy called, you might remember him, Prem Chand from India. He won his class, and when he got home, he got a Rolls Royce and a brand new house. They gave.
Yeah, they're like celebrity. They're Class A celebrities over there.
In Australia, America, you won the Olympia. Steroids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Samson just looks like a big guy walking down the street over here. That's
no respect. Just steroids. I could look like you if I took that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for another great show. Thank you, everybody. Much love and respect. And I will see you guys soon. Later. Peace.